Today I'm visiting one of the most mysterious temple festivals in Kerala. Thousands of devotees are carrying tender coconuts into a forest. A strange bamboo object called Oodapoo is being sold everywhere. And perhaps the strangest part of all, the holiest place is there not even permanent. Every year it is recreated at the center of a sacred water body hidden within the forest. Inside this sacred landscape stands a self-manifested Shivalinga and an ancient stone associated with Adi Parashakti. And according to the local tradition, this entire place preserves the memory of Daksha Yaga itself.
But the biggest mystery is this: why are thousands of devotees bringing tender coconuts to this temple?
The answer turned out to be much more surprising than I expected. Everywhere I look, devotees are arriving carrying tender coconuts. And they are not simply coming here from their homes. Before joining this pilgrimage, they observe a strict vrata. Before eating anything, they first take a bath. They avoid footwear. They follow traditional disciplines and restrictions as part of their spiritual preparation. Only after completing these observances, they do begin their journey to Kottiyoor carrying these tender coconuts. For generations, devotees have continued this tradition. At first, I thought these coconuts were simply another temple offering. But the more I learned about Kottiyoor, the more mysterious it became. This entire sacred landscape preserved the memory of one of the most powerful stories in Hindu tradition, the story of Daksha Yaga. According to sacred tradition, Daksha Prajapati, one of the sons of Brahma, decided to perform a grand yajna. This was not an ordinary ritual. Great kings, sages, devas, and many divine beings were invited to this yajna. But Daksha chose not to invite one person, God Shiva. Daksha could not accept that his daughter Sati had married God Shiva. When Sati Devi came to know about the yajna, she wanted to go there. For her, this was not just a big ritual. It was happening in their father's palace. She felt that a daughter could visit her father even without a proper invite. But God Shiva gently warned her. He told not to go to a place where she was not welcomed with respect. Still, Sati Devi decided to go. When she arrived at the yajna, the atmosphere was not what she expected. No one came forward to welcome her. Daksha remained seated with pride. And in front of everyone gathered there, he insulted God Shiva. Sati Devi could not bear it. At that moment, Sati Devi made a painful decision. She said she could not longer remain in a body born from Daksha. Then, through deep yogic meditation, she gave up that body. Everyone present there was shocked. Far away in Kailasa, Shiva Bhagwan came to know what had happened. His pain was beyond words. And slowly, that pain changed into divine anger. In that moment, Shiva Bhagwan pulled out one lock from his sacred jada. He struck it on the earth. And from that powerful energy, Virabhadra appeared. Along with them came Shiva Bhagwan's Bhoothaganas. Together they entered Daksha's yajna with great force. The grand yajna turned into complete chaos. Daksha's pride was broken, but the story did not end with destruction. After everything happened, the devas and sages went to God Shiva. They prayed to him. They asked him to forgive Daksha, and also they asked him to bring peace again. Because of their prayers, God Shiva's anger slowly became calm. Daksha was brought back to life, but he was not the same as before. He was given the head of a sacrificial goat. Daksha finally bowed before God Shiva and asked for forgiveness, and God Shiva accepted him. And according to Kottiyoor tradition, the sacred place you are seeing today still carries the memory of these events.
If this place is connected to Dakshayaga, then what role do these coconuts play?
And why are thousands of people still bringing them after all centuries?
To find the answer, we need to enter this sacred heart of Kottiyoor. Before entering to the temple, we have to take a dip in this sacred river. This is called the Bavali River.
In local tradition, this river is also known as Aushadha Vahini. That means the carrier of medicinal herbs. Before going to Akkare Kottiyoor, I am also taking a dip in this sacred river. Because here I am not traveling as a creator, I am traveling as a devotee. After the sacred bath, there is another interesting tradition here. We have to take two wet stones from the river area and gently rub them together. Because the stones are wet, a small paste slowly starts forming. Then we apply that paste on the forehead, almost like sacred bhasma. But when you do it here in the forest, after taking bath in the Bavali River, it feels very special. After the bath and the stone bhasma tradition, I started walking forward Akkare Kottiyoor. And this is where Kottiyoor started feeling very different from almost every temple I have visited. Because the most sacred part of this place is not a permanent stone temple. It comes alive only during the festival. This is Akkare Kottiyoor.
There's also a strict rule to enter this sacred kshetra. You have to wear mundu or dhoti. Also, you have to remove the t-shirt before you enter to this sacred water body or Thiruvanchira.
This is the sacred Yaga Bhoomi associated with the main rituals of the Vaishakha Mahotsavam. Unlike most temples, the structure here are temporary. They are built for the festival, and after the festival, they are removed. Every year, this sacred space is recreated again. That itself is one of the most mysterious and beautiful things about Kottiyoor. At the center of Akkare Kottiyoor is the sacred water body known as Thiruvanchira. The Yaga Bhoomi is recreated within this sacred landscape every year. Inside this sacred area is the Manithara. This is one of the most important spots in Kottiyoor. Here stands the Swayambhu Shivalinga. Swayambhu means self-manifested, not installed by human hands. And that is why Manithara is considered the spiritual heart of Kottiyoor. On the other side of the Manithara is another sacred stone known as Amarakallu. This sacred stone is associated with Adi Parashakti. So within this sacred landscape, we can worship both God Shiva and Goddess Shakti. Manithara represents the Swayambhu presence of God Shiva. Amarakallu is connected with the divine presence of Mother Adi Parashakti. But the story of this Swayambhu Shivalinga is even more fascinating. And this is where the mystery of the tender coconuts began to make sense. According to local tradition, in ancient times, a hunter was moving through this forest. At one point, he sharpened his arrow on a stone. Suddenly, the stone began to bleed. A cry was heard. Shocked by what he had seen, the hunter ran and informed the people nearby. Priests came to the place. They tried to stop the bleeding by offering sacred water. It did not stop. They offered milk. It did not stop. They offered ghee. Still it did not stop. Then, finally, a devotee arrived carrying tender coconuts. When tender coconut water was poured over the stone, the bleeding finally stopped. That exact sacred stone is the Swayambhu form of God Shiva. And from that moment, tender coconut water became deeply connected with the sacred traditions of Kottiyoor. Now, when I looked again at all those devotees carrying tender coconuts, it no longer felt like a simple offering. Every coconut had meaning, every step had meaning, and also every devotee was carrying a memory that has survived through generations. But before Ilaneerattam, there is a proper ritual sequence. The next day, these coconuts are prepared for the main ritual. They are actually not fully opened at first. The outer shell is carefully cut and shaped. This makes it easier to open them during the ritual. And then at night, Kottiyoor becomes more intense. Because before Ilaneerattam begins, another powerful ritual takes place. Muthappan Varavu. This ritual is connected with the fierce arrival of Virabhadra and God Shiva's Bhoothaganas. It represents that exact moment when God Shiva's forces came to destroy Daksha Yaga. And Muthappan is a powerful and famous god in northern Kerala. The lights are turned off, fire appears. For a few moments, the whole place feels like Dakshayaga story is happening again. After Muthappan Varavu, the ritual moves toward Ilaneerattam. The prepared tender coconuts are opened, the water is poured directly as Abhishekam to God Shiva. This is Ilaneerattam, one of the most sacred rituals of Kottiyoor. Now the connection becomes clear. Daksha's pride, Sati Devi's pain, God Shiva's grief, Virabhadra's anger, and finally tender coconut water is offering to cool and pacify the fierce energy. There is one more important connection here. Many rituals of Kottiyoor are also connected with Adi Shankaracharya. According to Kottiyoor tradition, when Adi Shankaracharya came to this sacred place, he did not step on the stones of Akkare Kottiyoor because he saw this whole area as filled with the presence of God Shiva. For him, even the stones here were not ordinary stones. They were sacred. They were Shivalingas. And when you come here, you can understand why that belief exists. In Kottiyoor, worship is not limited to one small temple room. The river is part of it, the stones are part of it, the forest is part of it, Thiruvanchira is part of it, the temporary Yaga Bhoomi is part of it. That is why Kottiyoor feels different. It's not a temple that depends on huge buildings. Its power is in the place itself.
Look at this, guys. There are thousands of people are eagerly waiting to see a glimpse of Bhagavan and Bhagavati, Shiva Shakti.
After spending time at Akkare Kottiyoor, I started walking back. But even on the return path, Kottiyoor had more things to show.
I kept seeing this everywhere throughout the festival. This is called Oodapoo.
It was hanging in shops, people are buying it, families were carrying it home. At first, it looked like a simple white bamboo object. But later, I understand that even this has a connection with Dakshayaga. Oodapoo is actually made from bamboo. It almost looks like white hair or a long beard. Different traditions explain it in different ways. One belief connects Oodapoo with the destruction of Dakshayaga. When Virabhadra and god Shiva's Bhoothaganas came to destroy the Yaga, Daksha's pride was broken. So some people see Oodapoo as a reminder that pride should be removed from life. When Virabhadra and god Shiva's Bhoothaganas came to destroy the Yaga, they removed Daksha's and other saints' beard and hair. Another tradition connects with it the sacred jada of god Shiva, because in the Dakshayaga story, Virabhadra appears from god Shiva's jada. Many families take it home and hang it near the entrance. Every year, they replace it with a new one. After this, I came to Ikkare Kottiyoor. Most people talk about Akkare Kottiyoor during the festival because the main festival rituals happen there. But the story of Kottiyoor is not complete without Ikkare Kottiyoor. Akkare Kottiyoor comes alive only during the festival time. Ikkare Kottiyoor is the permanent temple connected with this whole tradition. During the Vaishakha Mahotsavam, god Shiva and goddess Shakti are specially worshipped at Akkare Kottiyoor. But the rest of the year, devotees worship them here at Ikkare Kottiyoor. So Akkare and Ikkare are not just separate stories, they complete each other. Akkare Kottiyoor carries the memory of the Yaga Bhoomi, Ikkare continues the daily worship. There's also another mysterious place connected with Kottiyoor. It is called Aaliyarkavu. I could only shoot from outside because entry to this kavu is restricted, and also these rituals are not public rituals. These are strictly private and hidden rituals. Before the main festival begins, special secret rituals are done here by selected priest families. One ritual connected with this is called Purakkoozham. After the puja, they receive prasadam from the secret worship, and there is a mysterious thing connected with that prasadam. If anyone among them tastes bitterness in the otherwise sweet prasadam, it is believed to be a sign about that person's lifespan. Because of that, the person is expected to pass the secret ritual knowledge to the next generation. This is not something outsiders can fully see or understand, but that is exactly why Kottiyoor feels so deep. Some rituals here are not made for public display. There's one more thing I personally noticed at Kottiyoor. Inside Akkare Kottiyoor, there is a large cooking area where prasadam is prepared during the festival. They use huge pieces of firewood and cook in very large vessels. Normally, after using that much wood, we would expect a lot of ash. But when I saw the stove area, there was very little ash. I found that very surprising. And do you know where those ash goes? During these same festival days at Rajarajeshwara Temple in Taliparamba, the kitchen stove is believed to get more ash than usual. It's believed that god Shiva's Bhoothaganas secretly carry the ash from Kottiyoor to Rajarajeshwara Temple. I don't know how to explain it, but after seeing the cooking area at Kottiyoor with my own eyes, I can say this, even the ash here feels mysterious. And finally, there is one more powerful tradition at the end of this festival. Akkare Kottiyoor is not meant to maintain as a permanent temple. After the festival, the temporary structures are removed. The sacred Yaga Bhoomi returns back to the forest. And according to tradition, after the main rituals are over, certain forest-connected communities come here and perform old closing tantric rituals. One tradition says they catch fish, they cook food here, and the place is made Ashuddha again. For common understanding, people may call it making the place impure. But I guess these are secret Shabara Tantra rituals worshipping mainly inside forests. Also, I feel there may be a deeper meaning behind it. During the festival, the space is made sacred for worship. After the festival, it is returned back to nature. When I first come here, I thought I was coming to see a temple festival. But Kottiyoor is much more than that. It's a place where Puranic stories, forest traditions, and living rituals are still come together. Kottiyoor shows that sacredness does not always need huge temple towers. Sometimes it lives in a forest, in a river, in a stone, and in the faith of people who still keep these traditions alive. Jai Shiva Shakti.